My name is Mackenzie. Welcome back to my channel, and thank you so much for being here. Today we are going to be talking about my anticipated releases for October. So let's just get into it. I think this is one of the smaller anticipated releases groupings that I've had in a while. There are only 14. Only 14. While I love doing these videos because I love anticipating all of these books and keeping an eye on them, I really question the goodness of the idea of putting like upwards of 14 books on an anticipated releases for the month. Like, what's the plan there? So as always, I have my handy dandy husband phone, and I am going to go ahead and pull up on my Goodreads the list of books I want to talk to you about today, because I do use Goodreads very often, all the time, in fact. If you want to be the first to know how I felt about a book, if I'm reading said book, and all of the books that are on my anticipated releases, you can go ahead and follow me there at Cherished Reads, and you can just peruse all of my listings. I have my anticipated releases for 2021 still on that list. You can see my physical TBR, my manga TBR, all the books that I've read, books that I've DNF'd. I even have a shelf for that. So go ahead and check it out if you feel so inclined. So the first Tuesday in October, we are going to be talking about 4 whole books. These will be coming out on the 4th. The first one is The Empress of Time by Kylie Lee Baker. So this is the second in a series. The Keeper of the Night was the first one. This one came out in 2021, and I also anticipated it back then. Half British Reaper, half Japanese Shinigami. And that just seems so cool. A lot of the reasons why I end up anticipating series and not ever getting to them is because I just found out I have like 190 books worth of series that I haven't finished yet to finish all of those series. Like, it just, I'm trying not to think about what's happening right now, but this is why I haven't read it yet. So basically, we are in London. We have Wren, who has lived centuries, expected to obey the harsh hierarchy of the Reapers who despise her. Wren conceals her emotions and avoids her tormentors as best she can. Why does this feel like you told me, yeah, demons, but also they're being bullied? So it looks like she travels to Japan to like serve the goddess of death there instead of the English god of death. And, she's not accepted anywhere. And what I really feel that drew me to that series was this idea that your self is split in half by your 2 different identities, and neither identity accepts you. And girl, stop telling me my life story back to me, okay? Next, we have The Restless Dark by Erica Waters. Oh, hang on. The Empress of Time has a 4.0 rating on Goodreads, and The Restless Dark has 3.62. Look at this cover. Tell me it doesn't horrify you. Cloud Kiss Canyon. And 2 years ago, Lucy watched the Cloud Kiss killer leap into its depths after he attempted to murder her. And now these 3 girls, Lucy and Maggie and Carolina, are all going there to try and find his bones. Did anyone read that web comic? Gosh, I think it's a Junji Ito. But like with the holes in the canyon, I want to die. I want to die. That's what it reminds me of. So horrified. Next, we have Lute by Jennifer Marie Thorne. This has a 3.82. The cover has changed a little bit since the first time I saw it, so I do enjoy it. It says we have Wicker Man meets Final Destination in an unsettling folk horror novel about love, duty, and community. And I will say this, that I love folk horror. It does a thing, you know? I love slashers because it's almost like satirical, and I love folk horror because it takes my idea of like melancholic fall forest nighttime that I hold very dear to my heart, and it's like, it's scary. You're afraid of that place. Horrible things happen there. So we have an island of loot, and every 7th summer 7 people die. No more, no less. They have good weather. They're basically blessed as long as 7 people every 7th summer are sacrificed. So it looks like we're following Nina, who is a outsider who is married into this family who has always looked over this island Lute. And it looks like she's about to be sacrificed. So really for me, it's giving Hyde mixed with a little bit of that movie where she marries into a game family and they're like, okay, we're going to try and kill you now after your wedding day. What movie was that? But that's what it reminds me of. And lastly, on October 4th, we have Jackal by Erin E. Adams. So I was very excited about this. So we have a young black girl who goes missing in the woods outside her white Rust Belt town, but she's not the first and she may not be the last. So we have It's Watching, It's Taking, It's Your Turn. It looks like there's an evil in the forest. I am not reading the entirety of this summary because really it's giving Nope vibes and possibly just like demons in the forest. And that's just enough for me. I just love that. So next on October 11th, we have 2 books that are coming out. We have The Spare Man by Mary Robinette Kowal. Look at that cover. It's giving like Veronica Speedwell goes to space. We have Tesla Crane, who is a brilliant inventor and an heiress who is on her honeymoon. She's traveling incognito, and then there's a murder that she has to solve. It's like Veronica Speedwell goes to space mixed with Miss Marple. Like, it's so good. That one has a 4.11 on Goodreads, and Jackal has a 4.08 if I didn't say. If You Could See the Sun by Ann Liang has a 4.20 on Goodreads. Look at that cover. So we have a genre bending, love it. YU debut. A Chinese American girl monetizes her strange new invisibility powers by discovering and selling her wealthy classmates' most scandalous secrets. This could be really great. This could be wonderful, actually. Now on to October 18th. We have 6 whole books to talk about. 2 Heartstopper things that are coming out. We have the Heartstopper Yearbook by Alice Oseman and also the Heartstopper Coloring Book by Alice Oseman. Now, the Yearbook is definitely more of just like an art book. It's in full color and has exclusive content about the universe, never before seen illustrations, a mini comic, a look at Alice Oseman's art over the years. So it's really just an art book. And then the Heartstopper Coloring Book is really just a coloring book. So it's really cute, really sweet, nothing really going on there, but I am anticipating it. I know all of BookTube really loved the Heartstopper comics. These aren't comics, what are they? The graphic novels, then the TV show came out and it was a whole big deal. So I'm just telling you, in case you didn't know, those are coming out. And then we have The Lavender House, or just Lavender House by Lev A.C. Rosen. So we have 1952 at the Lavender House. Okay, so she has a soap empire. To keep their secrets, they've needed to keep others out, and now they're worried they're keeping a murderer in because, what's-her-face? Irene was murdered, it looks like. I'm not gonna lie, like I put this on here solely for the cover because it was really giving yellow wallpaper vibes. This has a 4.13 on Goodreads right now though, and that's pretty high. We have 2 stars, we have 4 stars. The 2-star says love the cover, love the name, and it was a very original concept, the house where queer folks could live openly, a soap making empire, and of course a dead body. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Oh, this person is saying knives out but make it gay. Such a brilliant marketing move. You know what? I am re-intrigued. Really, it's the soap business that like, am I supposed to take that seriously? Next we have Self-Portrait with Nothing by Aimee Pokwatka. This has a 4.2 rating on Goodreads right now. It says if a picture paints 1,000 worlds. Worlds? Not words. Worlds. Abandoned as an infant. She was raised by 2 loving mothers. She's 36 now, but at 15, she discovered the identity of her bio mom. Reclusive, famous painter who paints portraits that summon their subjects' doppelgangers from a parallel universe. So at first it was giving Courage the Cowardly Dog, and now it is also giving Picture of Dorian Gray. And it looks like this more is so going to be talking about the themes of embracing your imperfect life and everything about it and still enjoying it and not wishing it could have been better or perfect or more easy for you. Next we have Where Black Stars Arise by Nadia, Shammas, and Marie Enger. It looks like this is a graphic novel that explores mental illness and diaspora in modern day Brooklyn. I really enjoy the cover. It doesn't give a lot in the way of like art style, but the more I look at the cover, the more I do actually enjoy what's happening here. We have the person down at the bottom. It's giving kind of noir. I really like that. So it looks like we're following a Lebanese immigrant and a therapist in training who finds herself out of her depth when her first client is a schizophrenic, and is visited nightly by a malevolent presence that seems all too real. I love that it's kind of like a very simple setup, simple setting, simple background, but with this cover, it's giving perspective that the character has. I really love graphic novels for that reason, because it shows not only the story and what's happening like step by step, but also how the main character feels about those things as they're going forward. So last on the 18th, we have Road of the Lost by Nafiza Azad. This has a 4.0 on Goodreads right now. Nafiza Azad is the author who wrote The Wild Ones, which I didn't read. However, I did anticipate it in 2021, and haven't heard a lot. Like, Books and Lala read it, but I feel like that's the only person that I've heard read it and talk about it. And it really does feel like it's giving like Peter Pan with Hunters of Artemis vibes, but that's The Wild Ones. So let's talk about The Road of the Lost. I feel like a lot of covers this year are coming out with like a person, specifically a girl's face, a female face coming out of foliage or sitting right next to foliage. Like, even the Lavender house is giving the same thing, where it's like, oh no, those are chandeliers. And rabbits? Whoa. I didn't understand the cover of Lavender House at all. Anyways, moving on, Road of the Lost. Perfect for fans of The Cruel Prince. Dat me. We have a YA fantasy following a girl who discovers she spent her life under an enchantment, hiding her true identity on her quest into the magical otherworld to unlock her powers and discover her destiny. Croy is a brownie, glamored to be invisible to humans. Her life in the wild forest is ordinary and her magic is weak, until the day her guardian gives Croy a book about magic from the otherworld. Forced to leave her home, she begins a journey full of surprises and dangers, because she is not a brownie at all, but another creature entirely, enchanted to forget her true heritage. Ooh, even cooler. I was going to not be as excited about it if it was a human who was like, I don't know that I'm a fairy. Like, no, she thinks she's a brownie, and she realizes she's something else. Enjoy it. Love it. It has a 4.0 on Goodreads, and I'm very excited about it. So lastly, let's talk about October 25th. There are two books that I want to talk about. One is by Wanda M. Morris, you know that name, called Anywhere You Run. Wanda M. Morris wrote All Her Little Secrets, which I read, I don't know if we read, but I read All Her Little Secrets earlier this year for the Literally Dead Book Club, and that was just... It was giving. It was giving. So now we have Anywhere You Run, which is kind of like a prequel to that one. So it looks like we have Violet, who is attacked by a white man and kills him because deserves. And then she's like, oh yeah, we're in Jim Crow era, so we have to do something about this. So it's really giving the same kind of vibes as All Her Little Secrets, but way back in the past, and probably with a little bit more scheming, because while what we were talking about in All Her Little Secrets was how racism still exists in like modern day, obviously in this one we're going to be, I hope, touching on a little bit more topics, because obviously racism exists. It was Jim Crow era. So I do have high hopes, because I did really love the conversations, the discussions, and the writing in the first book. So we'll see about that one. Finally, we have The Atlas Paradox by Olivie Blake. This is the second in the Atlas series, obviously the first one being the Atlas 6. Obviously this blew up everywhere on BookTube, Instagram, all the things. I'm really excited to get this one finished and read. I am interested, and it's interesting that this one is a white cover. And I was really thinking this the other day when I was listing out all of the books I wanted to talk to you guys about this month, that the first book really felt Dark Academia-esque, but I don't know how much this second book is going to be, purely because of how the plot has evolved. Now we are strictly getting into like good guy and bad guy, and like who's gonna be taking over the Library of Alexandria, basically, and how that's gonna be dealt with moving forward. And I don't feel like that's giving as much Dark Academia vibes as like the other ones were. if that is the case and I'm correct that this won't be very dark academia, it does make sense that this cover now is in white and inverted to not give like the wrong idea, the wrong impression going in. But maybe that's also just me giving a little bit too much. So since this is the second in the series, I don't want to tell you too much, but we will still be following the same people that we were following in the Atlas 6, and it seems as if we will be picking off right up afterwards. I'm excited. I'm very excited because I also, where is my copy of it? Oh, it's down here. You can't see it, but I love it. I'm also just very excited in general to get through some of Olivie Blake's other works. Like the one that's going to be coming out soon is Alone with You in the Ether, and this is like a reprint because it was already done. I feel like Sacred Hospitality I already had. So she does have quite a few other books that are already like published. It looks like possibly self-published, and I'm really hoping for like a Silvia Moreno Garcia moment where all of her backlist gets republished with cool new covers. Like Alone with You in the Ether has bees on it. I love bees. Alone with You in the Ether is coming out in November, so we'll talk more about it next month, but I'm just so excited. I just needed you to know. So that was all 14 books that I wanted to talk about that I'm excited about in October. Please let me know down in the comments what you're excited about and what you think that I should prioritize to read that are new releases. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!